Thirsty and 30.
Good evening to our very, very dateable crowd. We are now on episode 28 of Thirsty and 30, the Blind Leading the Blind chat show on smarter love and kinder relationships. Our goal here is really to help you improve your relationships with yourself and others. I'm Bea, your thirsty non-expert, and bagay na yung pabulong natin, Shari, in the
I
beginning.
know, because now we are going to talk about thirst and more.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, okay. So, hi, Bea. I'm Shari, your other host for this podcast. You would like to say hi to our usual viewers. Hi, guys. Welcome. This is going to be a good episode. If you're winding down with a glass of wine, hopefully, and you want an eye opener of a conversation, start a watch party or share this live, guys. It's going to be a good one. We'd love to hear your comments and questions. I'm so excited. Sorry, Babe. I'm so excited for this episode. Keeping the spark. The excitement, especially with sex and intimacy, can be tough when years pass, whether that be intimacy with your partner or even just yourself. So, our guest tonight is, I've known her for quite a while actually, because my family is good friends with her, and we had a very interesting conversation one time during one of our house parties at home. Not house parties, so I think it was my grandpa's birthday party. And somehow masturbation became a topic. And I was young, like a young teen, and I was just like, ooh, sounds like fun.
Always the best party conversations are a little
Right?
bit make some people uncomfortable, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with talking about masturbation or self-help or just looking after yourself. I think this is all part the remit of self-care and self-awareness, right? So
Exactly.
should we bring her out?
Yes. Yes. So don't our guest today has a secret of the fountain of youth, Bea, right? Weren't you talking about the fountain of youth a while ago?
Yeah, I mean, this is my favorite topic, and it's something we've been asking a lot of women when they get on the show. This is like the evergreen question of life. Like, how does one drink from like the mythical fountain of youth? Like, I don't know, a bit of history lesson. The fountain of youth was supposedly in Florida, but it's not really there. We don't know where it is. It may not even be
I think
existing.
our guest has it.
Yes, and the reason they were looking for it to increase the sexual vigor of this person, this Spanish explorer. But today we have someone exciting, right? So we should bring them out. Yeah.
Yeah, so here's Eleanor Leung. Oh my god, I'm terrible at pronouncing names. But she is the owner of the first adult store in the Philippines, the Pleasure Place. She is one that speaks her mind and is absolutely an open book. Guys, I can describe her all I want, but you have to see her for yourself. She's a lovely, feisty woman.
Hmm.
Hi, Eleanor. Welcome to our
Hi
show.
there. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Good.
So,
Nice to see you
Eleanor,
both.
usually our show, we start with either an anonymous caller or an anonymous letter. Today, somebody sent us an anonymous letter, and we think you're going to be the perfect one to give this person advice. So I'll just go for it. Dear Thirsty Girls, I've been married for almost 2 years to the love of my life. We dated in college. I was in love with my best friend, and I couldn't be happier. He is caring, sweet, took care of me in every single way but one. As boyfriend and girlfriend, our sex life was minimal. I would say one a week at best, and usually I would initiate. I just thought it was because we always had to sneak around to do it, Neither of us had our own places back then. We got married in 2019. We have fairly traditional families, so we only lived together when we got married. I was so excited that finally we can explore each other more now. We can have sex whenever and wherever. That never happened. Nothing has changed. Once a week if I initiate. If I didn't initiate, I bet we'd be intimate only once a month, if that. Am I doing something wrong? Should I be trying harder to seduce my husband? We both work from home now. The environment has gotten really stressful. All we can think about is stress. Could this be the cause of his lack of sex drive? What should I do? Please help, frustrated lady.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of men whose libido is much lower than their partners. So I don't know if maybe he should seek medical help or a lot of work on her part to try to seduce him. But it seems to be a pattern and a practice from the day that she's known him. So this is a problem that is going to be difficult for me to assist if there's some medical issues here. If it's
Mm-hmm.
mental or more emotional, then I can give her a few tips. But it seems like it's his pattern, and it's not the first that I've heard. I've heard tons of stories. It's the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it matters with this, this libido or like energy is not the same, like the
Yeah,
sexual
of course.
compatibility? And what if it's
Yes.
not the same?
A lot of people think that it's the guys who like to have more sex than the women. But now you're telling me a story that I've heard over and over again. A lot of wives
Mm.
and girlfriend comes to the shop or text me to let them know that the husband is not interested and there's no one else.
I wonder why. Confu-
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
The woman could try to be the tramp or to be the whore that the husbands always want their wives to be
mhm.
behind bedroom doors. But if that still doesn't work, then something is terribly wrong. And
Okay.
so you.
unfortunately, yeah.
So it's true, the lady in the street, a freak in the sheets. It can never be reversed.
Yeah, maybe to a certain point, yes.
So, frustrated lady, hoe it up in the bedroom, try, and then if it doesn't work, medical help. That's the
Yeah,
best we could do.
right.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a prescription from the thirsty ladies here. But okay, my first question is something I'm really interested in. You look incredible. Like you
Thank you.
look fabulous at your, as a woman. And I just want to know, like, have you discovered the fountain of youth and what's the secret?
The fountain of youth is from within yourself. I, for one, is extremely aware every moment of the day of my aging. When I see that something is wrong with me, I'll take care of it immediately.
Mm.
I don't let go. I don't let go of my weight. I get on my scale every day. I look at my weight. I'm unhappy when I gain weight because I can't dress properly and can't get into the clothes that I'd like to wear. And if you wear the clothes that you love, it exudes confidence and it makes you happy. And I'm also the type who would get dressed and put my makeup on every day, no matter where I go, whether I go to the supermarket or whether I go visit my sister. I'd even put on my heels.
Yeah.
Attitude is very, very important for keeping young. um, Diet, of course, I don't eat a lot of meat. I like chicken and fish and a lot of veggies and salads. I don't really know if diet has to do with looking young. um, I think it's also the way you think about it's attitude, mostly your mentality and the way you dress. I will always still put on a pair of skinny jeans and stilettos. I don't care. I could be wearing that till I'm 80. So
Mm.
you
I
can
love that.
exude your youth through the way you carry yourself, your
Yeah.
Yeah.
hairstyle, your makeup, your uniqueness. um I don't want to be part of the norm.
I like what you said, just never let go. I believe that
Mm.
because once you start letting go, things are just sometimes it's irreversible. Like,
Never,
yeah.
never ever. And skincare to me is the number one most important thing about keeping young. If you keep your skin young and healthy and supple, um
Mm.
that's going to shave off a lot of years. And I spend a lot of money and a lot of time taking
Yeah.
care of my skin. That's a morning and evening ritual that I don't fail myself.
It looks like it's really, really working. Do
I
you
play
think?
golf. I play golf, so I'm supposed to burn and get all that brown spots, but
Mm.
unfortunately, I don't have it because of the great skincare that I use. I exfoliate like several times a week and rejuvenate several times a week. As I was telling ch- ch- um, earlier, that your skin has to exfoliate so that new skin can grow.
Hmm,
Okay, so basically skincare, stilettos, skinny jeans,
attitude.
and attitude.
Attitude,
That's all top
attitude.
four, guys. It's
Yeah,
that's all you need for
and never
now.
let go, even if you're
Defining
holding
your
on with your
look.
protein.
You have to define your look and be comfortable with who you are. So I think that's all part of uh, staying young. I mean,
Mm.
a lot of women in their 70s are not going to go blonde like myself, right? But I don't care. I like being blonde.
You look great, blonde.
And
So,
it hides the whites.
oh yeah, that's true.
I
So,
saw one last week. It freaked me out. I saw a
did you pluck
piece.
it out?
Yes, I did. Why? What are you meant to do? Not
I don't
just
know.
keep it?
No, use it. So, Eleanor, you own one of the first sex shops in the Philippines.
The
How
first serious one.
the first
Mm,
serious
okay.
one. So, how did you, as a young woman, how were you raised with values about sex? Were you always very open early on?
We talked about sex at the dining room table with my grandparents and my parents. It was always an open subject. We talked about
Huh?
other people's sex lives, so it wasn't a secret. I could talk to my parents and my grandmothers and my grandmother about anything and everything. It's fine.
Wow.
So the thing is, if you talk about sex with your family openly, and non-maliciously, I think you're going to grow up with a more open-minded, healthy attitude, right? Instead of shoving it under the rugs. I have
Yeah.
a lot of mothers who would bring their daughters in to bring their daughters in to see their gynecologist so that they'll put them on the pill when they know that they're sexually active. What
Hmm.
surprised me the most was during the pandemic, I had three Chinese mothers who ordered clit stimulators. One mother ordered three clit stimulators for three of her teenage daughters, telling me that she would rather that they discover themselves rather than
Yeah.
go out there and let other boys discover them, which makes a
True.
lot of sense.
Yeah.
This is a Chinese mother.
They're
That
very
was the most
traditional.
shocking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
So
it.
what
I love it.
what made you start the pleasure place? I mean, the Philippines we're sort of very conservative. So what did you see here? What potential did you see to open the sex shop here?
Well, I came home for love, and that's for Andy. I gave up everything in the United States, pack up my business, pack up my home, and came home for her. But I told her before I came back, I wanted to do something fun. Um, I don't want to stay idle, like all those women here. I know that they have their lunches and all that. I used to come home and have lunch with my girlfriends every day, and I didn't want to have that kind of life when I returned. I wanted to be
Mm.
busy. And we were looking for toys and we couldn't find any good ones. So I said, then we both said, why don't we just start our own toy business and bring in the best that we could find? And so we have achieved our goal. We have luxury toys for every woman and guy out there. We don't sell cheap stuff. So
Mm.
if you want cheap stuff, I say go to Lazada and elsewhere. But if you come to me, toys are going to be a little bit on the high end, but you can be sure that you're getting the very best.
I think it's worth it. I mean, this is something that are in very important parts of your body, and the fact that you would save on it, I think you
Yeah.
shouldn't.
I don't want to
Um,
accidentally electrocute my vagina or something.
Well,
mm,
With a
people
cheap
spend
toy.
like 70, 80,000 on an iPhone. A
Yeah.
good toy, which people complain at 4 to 5 thousand. You can own a fantastic toy.
Yeah.
But a lot of
so
people complain about that. They're looking for toys that are like 5 or 600 pesos. I said, go to Lazada. I don't have those.
I would not be comfortable with the 500 to 600 peso toy. But I do have a question about moving for love, because we've had a guest as well on the show where she did say you should move for love because love is hard to find. But like work and business, you can always find that. What are your thoughts on that before we go back to your story with Pleasure Place?
I'm enjoying my relationship where there's a combination of love and business. That those Those two are my two of my biggest motivations in life:
Mm,
business and love. That is my combination. I don't know what the other combination, what your combination could be. You have to
mm.
find what excites you. Business excites me, and love excites me. So I found the two biggest weapons that keeps me going.
That has
Okay.
to
Um,
be another element into the fountain of youth. Find something that excites you and add it in
oh,
your list.
my life has always been exciting. Before I came home for her, I had a home business where I brought fashion into women's homes. Every day I woke up, got dressed, looking vampy, and I never felt a day's work in 25 years. It
Mm.
was fun. It was always fun, and my day always ended with a smile on my face. It was always making money and always having fun. So that's what makes me, I guess, makes me young.
Yeah.
That's the
And
goal.
it seems like you
And I
have
don't
that
have any kids.
oh,
And no kids now.
walang sakit sa ulo. I think you've saved yourself. I mean, I was definitely a pain in my mom's butt. I don't know,
Oh
Shari,
yeah,
were you?
so was I.
Ask my
So
mom.
was
My
I.
mom say I'm a pain in the butt until now.
Okay, I'm curious. You said you always have fun and you try to have a smile on your face. I am sure there are some days that are a bit shocking and pleasure plays. In the most conservative end, what has been the most shocking thing you've heard? And then the least conservative end, what was also shocking to you? Or is everything just normal to you
Nothing
now?
shocked me actually. I've heard everything. Um,
Yeah.
the reason why our shop is so successful is
Mm,
because it's the Filipino men and women that's taught us or taught me, because I'm the one that faced the clients, and Andy is takes care of the back end finances and management and admin. Um, it's their practices that has enabled me to know what to put on our shelves.
mm,
It's their needs. They tell me what their needs are. That's why the toys are here.
Hmm.
And when I visit other sex shops around the country and I have the opportunity to speak to the owners, their best sellers are my best sellers. So
mm.
basically, sex is universal.
Yeah,
Sex is universal.
it
So,
is.
random question. What's the top kind of toy for women here in the Philippines and top toy for men?
Okay, for guys, of course, it's a masturbator.
Mm,
Even though they're married, they buy masturbators. So they
Hmm.
want to get that quick fix without having to bother their wives. Um, For women, that's a very funny question. And I don't like it when guys would come in and buy the women's toys. How do you know what she needs? Does she need a
mm.
clit stimulator? Does she need a penetrator? Or does she need a toy that's simultaneous, that hits the clit and that penetrates?
Hmm.
So I don't understand why the women hover around in the background and let the guys pick out their toys. Is it because you want them
Oh,
to pay for it? Or it's because you're playing pakipot, which is one thing I can't stand.
Pakipa, that's
Um,
annoying.
and in the end, a lot of them will come out in the end, and when I draw them out from the background, because I can't stand it staying in the background and not really letting me know what you're looking for. I know what you're about. I know you know what you want. So stop playing that
yeah.
role. You'll still pay for it in the end.
Yeah, true.
So stop playing like the damsel in, would you say distress or damsel in the
In
The
behind
hiding.
the
pakipot,
in
what is
hiding?
that word in English? The pakipot thing, that we really
Yes.
have to eliminate that. And you know
Mm.
what?
Yeah.
Guys are even more pakipot.
Are they?
I feel like it's less
Yeah.
common for men to actually use sex toys. Or am I crazy? I feel like women are just like sex toy this, sex toy that, but men are like, no, never. Right?
Ah,
Or is
no,
that
no. A lot of guys are buying the toys
Mm,
for their girls, and a lot of girls also come in to buy their toys now. They're coming in equal numbers. But from
mm,
day one that we've opened, it's never been a problem.
yeah.
People will think that it's a problem, but it isn't. And my market is 99.9 Pinoys. I don't have a foreign market.
Yeah.
right? So
So
so a
there's
lot of couples go in and buy toys together. So other than buying toys, how do you think couples should keep a relationship spicy? Like top 5 tips.
Okay. Um, Couples or just the girl?
Couples or well, yeah,
Okay.
couples.
If it's a couple, I would suggest that you put love night on your calendar. Whether
Love
it's once a
that.
week, once a month, every 6 months, but you have to shut out the world when you have love night on your calendar and it's all out. You plan your evening. Um,
Oh.
maybe, one week it would be the girl who would say, okay, let's work out my fantasies. It takes a lot of courage to talk to your partner about your fantasies. But if you're really going to be brave and speak out what it is that you want and enact it, it's really going to be fun. It's going to be endless adventures if you talk about your fantasies. Don't be afraid. Say it so that there's some excitement. You can plan it.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of calendaring everything, so love night is a very good concept for me.
Right, right. Um, there was a program that I came up with a program because a lot of couples were complaining to me that their sex life was getting boring.
Mm.
Mm.
So I took 10 couples in. And I asked the girl to go home and ask her husband. These are all married women, by the way. Ask your husband if he's willing to pay you 100,000 for that evening to be his whore. 9 of them came back and said that the husbands agreed, and one said, "No, I'm not going to pay for
Wow.
it. I want it for free." Now, wouldn't it be fun? But 100,000, 100,000, you're going to have to work on it. You're going to have to work on it. What is it that you're going to do to make this evening worth it?
Hmm.
Because
I
some men will pay up to 100,000 to get a whore for the evening. It's going to be an exciting evening. It's going to have to start from writing down about what it is that he expects of you. Starting from, do you want him to pick you up from the sidewalk, pretending that he's picking you up, all dressed up without your undies?
This is like next level role play.
Yeah, role
I love
play. That's
that.
very important. What else is there? Be
Yeah.
creative. I mean, a lot of
Wow.
people do this, but I'm speaking out loud. You know what? A lot of people are already practicing, so that it will bring out the remove your fears. It's normal. It's normal. Whatever you do with your partner may sound, whatever you want to do with your partner that may sound abnormal to other people, as long as you both enjoy it, it's fine. As long as you don't hurt each other, you can do whatever. There's no limitation. There are no boundaries.
Yeah.
I like these practical tips, by the way. I mean, I don't know if they're practical. The love night is practical. The 100,000 is a bit of an interesting one, but
Yeah, well, if you can't afford 100,000, come up with a figure that you can afford. But when money is involved, it changes the whole scenario.
that is true. People are incentivized by money. So if you
You're
want
gonna
your
have to work
special
for it.
someone,
Yeah, and it makes it sound, I don't know, more exciting. Like it feels like real, like actual. Yeah.
Don't you know? Most women, when you talk to them, they have fantasies about having a little black book and being a prostitute.
oh, it's not in my fan. I have other fantasies of teacher fascinations, but
Um.
Okay, fine. Whatever they
this
are, like work it out with your partner. It could be anything. You could be anybody.
Yeah. I
okay.
like
The
this.
black
I
book
like
is
the
an
whole.
interesting one.
Yeah, I like this hoe it up scenario thing.
Let's call
Okay.
it the stiletto. Stiletto, so it sounds better. The stiletto move.
Yeah.
But Eleanor, how do you
Okay,
keep the
excuse
spark
me.
alive?
For
Yeah,
that
Oh
go
yeah.
lady
on.
who called in, the lady in distress,
Yeah.
Yes.
maybe we could do something like this to test out her husband because they live alone. Did you say they live alone without anyone there?
Now,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So why doesn't she try to plan an evening like this or an afternoon into the evening? Like walk around naked in the house with her highest heels and cook for him naked. Let's see if that's going to get him going.
Good.
Okay, that is a good.
Good advice.
Okay, so how do you keep the spark alive with yourself? Because I know a lot of women that they don't like to touch themselves, they don't want to pleasure themselves, they prefer it with a man. And how do you do that so that you're actually comfortable with yourself?
Unless you know your body, what it is that your body needs or wants or enjoy, Um,
Mm.
you have to explore to discover yourself so that you'll be able to tell your partner or teach your partner what it is that pleases you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like when women would complain to me, that they have lousy lovers, I would tell them that they're a lousy teacher, because guys are not magicians. They don't know what it is that you want unless you speak out, in explicitly what it is that you want. They're never going to know it. So communication is important. Without that, you're both going to be extremely frustrated.
Communication is important, but what if like you don't have the knowledge? Like sex ed at high school and sex ed in the way that you just discover in the world is completely a mess, right?
Yeah,
Right.
In America, they teach you the whole banana and condom. In the Philippines, they teach you about abortion and how
absolutely.
disastrous it is. So I'm just thinking, like, I guess, how do you how do you communicate if you don't even know what to communicate? Like, what would you recommend to read up on or watch? Because
Well,
certainly
now
porn is
there's so
not the
much.
way to read.
Anyone can Google any subject. So this generation is so much luckier than my generation, where everything was hidden.
Yeah.
Were it not for my parents and my grandmother who was so open-minded, I'd probably be uh, one of those cases, where I'll be in the dark about everything. But even till today, if I want to learn something, I just Google it.
Mm.
I used to buy books. I have tons of books, but I don't even need to do that anymore. It's all in Google. Ask Google.
Yeah.
Eleanor, I
And
heard that you recommend this book, Tickle the Pickle.
how to tickle
And
his pickle. Yes, everything that
can
you
you
need to
tell us a
please a
little bit
guy's
about it?
penis is there. It's fun. It's such a fun book.
I
Tickle
mean,
is pickle on my reading list.
One of the
great title,
funniest
by
things
the
that
way.
I've read about that, it's like guys want you to swallow their cum, or to like lather it all over your face, your
Flat.
neck, and your body, right? But try to put his cum and try to kiss him. Let's see how turned off he's going to be. They can't stand it.
Men. Yeah.
It's such an animalistic activity. I mean, everything that's hidden behind closed doors, it's shocking because we act all proper in person, please
But
pass me the
nobody
salt.
wants a proper person in bed, though. That's the boring.
Ladies, trust me, Pinays are nowhere. Pinays are very, 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 very sensuous people. They know what to do to get their men. They know it, and it's
Speaking,
innate.
yeah,
It's very hard to teach someone to be sensuous.
yeah.
It's very important for a woman to be sensuous, but I can't teach it because it's innate. When you're in love with someone, it's how you look at him, how you flicker your hair, how you move your lips, how you drink your water, how you hold your cigarette, or your wine glass. I can't teach those. It's supposed to be innate. If you don't have that, then you're a hopeless case.
So speaking of being sensual and being sexual, and I guess exploring yourself as a person, what good habits do you think people should or women should incorporate in their lives so that they can be more in touch with their sexuality and more in touch with their sensuality without feeling ashamed?
In 1978, the American Medical Association has declared masturbation as a healthy form of sexual activity. I've discovered myself when I was 10 and a half. Nobody had to teach me that. And my advice to women out there your age is masturbate as much as you can take it, because when you get to my age, you can't. You can only do two or three and you're exhausted. And today I've lost my libido. I'm not interested. But because I know that it's a healthy form of exercise, I force myself, even if it's once a month or every couple of months. But it's like, oh no, not tonight. I'm tired. I'm not in the mood. But it's your muscles inside that you need to exercise. And if you don't orgasm, those muscles are not working. It's
Yeah.
just like a patient in a hospital bed. If it doesn't move, a leg or an arm is going to go atrophy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same with your muscles. That's why women in their older years have physis and urinary incontinence, because those muscles are not being worked. That's why they wear their diapers. That's
Yeah.
99.9 the reason why you wear your diapers.
So
So
masturbate and do your
if you don't want to be in a diaper, definitely masturbate and squeeze. Yeah, your
Very,
kegels.
very important.
yeah.
And it
Okay.
strengthens your core.
Besides strengthening your core and squeezing your kegels, if you were okay, this is a big picture question. If you were to head the sex ed in this country, what would you want to teach people? Like, what is it that you think is important that
The
either young
number
women or
one
men
lesson that I
know?
have is to teach all parents that your most important responsibility is to teach your children about sex. It's parenting's most important responsibility. If we can all start there, it will lessen a lot of the problems. Education.
Yeah.
How can you emphasize? I can't emphasize more about parents speaking to their children about sex. And when the
Yeah.
children start asking, answer them according to age. Don't mince your words. Talk to them honestly. Answer them honestly according to their age.
Hmm.
How would you explain it to a 10-year-old who's just starting to explore themselves?
Depends on what the question is. Or maybe, yeah, you can start telling her about, have you started to explore yourself? It's just as simple as that.
Okay.
Some
You have to
people just tend to
say it out
shy
straight.
away.
Have you
Yeah.
started to discover your body? Have you started to touch yourself? Have you started to make yourself feel good?
Hmm.
You know,
It's all
one
about
of my
self.
classmates in the States, it's funny, she's Pinay, but very Americanized. When her daughter caught her son masturbating, they took him to a psychiatrist,
Why?
thinking that there was something wrong with him. Can you
Oh my
imagine?
god. That's
Yeah,
strange.
so that's so sad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's just prevention of feeling good. And there's a healthy, there's a moderate way of accepting pleasure, I think. And
But
pleasure is good for you.
unfortunately, there are still a lot of women out there who are afraid to touch themselves, thinking that
Yeah.
God is going to punish her.
So are
So
there
I feel
yeah.
sad for those girls whose upbringing is caused by their parents, um, the way they were brought up through this Catholic religion or whatever it is.
I don't
And people
really
out
get
there,
the stigma. In my head, everybody does it. Like I always say, like show me somebody who says that they don't masturbate, and I will show you a liar. That's what I always say. But turns out some people like really know.
another statement that I can't stand is saying, "Oh, we're a religious country, and I'm religious, so." Every
Yeah,
religious person copulates and have sex.
Mm.
I don't know why they keep saying that I'm religious or the family's very religious. What does it have to do with sex?
I have honestly I have no clue also. But speaking of sex and dating, now during a pandemic, people can't really go out and have sex and go on dates. And so what's your
Mm.
advice for people? Like what are practical tips to be flirty or sensual while you're dating virtually? Like maybe Tinder,
Oh my
Bumble,
god, for
whatever.
me, my bedroom is going to be my stage. And my
Ah,
most important audience is my lover. I'm going to be the star. I will be the star. I will be the porn star of my bedroom. Let's see if that's going to get him hanging in there for weeks and months on end.
but how do you gain confidence to do it? How do you actually like in your head it sounds like it's fun, blah blah. But of course like there's like a camera or your phone's in front of you, but like won't you be shy? How do you overcome that shyness?
You're just going to have to step into your heels or flat or whatever and do it. I just do it because you know that the party who's watching you is going to enjoy it tremendously.
Mm.
Hmm.
What
My
are
You
your
know that
thoughts
he's going to
on
wait for a performance. He's going to enjoy it, and the more he enjoys it, the more it's going to edge you on to perform better.
lap dances?
Yeah, I think you're gonna have, if you're not a natural born dancer, you're gonna have to take some lessons.
I mean, it's something I'm curious because I used to work in hospitality and I saw a lot of like stag or bachelor parties.
Yeah.
And it's crazy when you see these men, like how they react with lap dances. And know,
Are you talking
I,
about lap dances or the stag or the male dancers?
no, lap dances of women to men. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Guys just love visual stuff.
okay, so
Anything
men are
visual.
visual.
Visual and sexy and come on. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Eleanor, I have a question. What's your go-to move? Like, let's say you're on a first date or you spot somebody that you like. So, what's your? I feel like I feel like you give good advice. I'm a terrible flirt. I'm not good at flirting. So, what's your
Eye
go-to like
contact.
no fail?
Eye
Eye
Really,
contact.
contact.
eye contact. Just
That's
look,
what gay men do to each other too. So what makes us different from them?
eye contact. Lock
Eye
eyes
contact is the
there.
most important.
Really? So that's
It
the
will
Okay.
never
go-to eye
fail. It will
contact.
never fail.
So have a staring contest
I'm
on
gonna practice
Zoom.
my staring.
Okay,
Me,
definitely.
another thing that I wanted to teach women actually is to be a constant flirt. But I can
Yeah.
tell from you both that you are both flirts.
Uh-oh.
From the
I
way
hope
you
so.
How can you
And
tell? How can...
I can tell from your mannerisms. As you can
oh,
tell that I am. I'm the biggest flirt. And
Eleanor, can you
it should
break it
come
down though?
naturally. Excuse
I'm
me?
Break it
I
down.
idolize it.
What are the mannerisms to a natural flirt or a frequent flirt or a flirt?
You're already doing it, the two of you.
But
Oh,
for those people that are still learning, like I talk to women who listen to our show and they're very conscious of themselves and their mannerisms, how they even talk to a guy. They feel like every move is like gonna be a next is a rejection from the man. And what I always tell them is not to worry about that. If they reject you, it's just better for you that you know that this person is not suited. So if you think that Sharina
What
flirts,
does not know how to flirt? Excuse me?
um, yeah, some women don't know how to flirt. Like I think they worry too
Get in
much.
front of a mirror and start practicing.
flirt with yourself, ladies. Flirt with yourself first.
Get in front of a mirror and start practicing. Move your head in a sexy manner.
Okay.
Speak in a sexy manner. You know, I don't know. I don't know how to teach someone how to flirt because it comes to me naturally. I remember my
Okay.
American girlfriend. I came home for my father's 70th birthday party, and that's the first time Andy saw me. Um, okay, we're talking about 20 some years ago. And we first went to Thailand. She shocked me, by asking me outright, Eleanor, can you teach me how to flirt? I said, why? Because you flirt all day. Whom am I flirting with? Me. She said I was flirting with her. I said,
You're like,
I'm not
no.
flirting with you. This is my natural self. Actually, I'm
Okay.
not flirting with her. I'm not interested in a feminine femme. I'm interested in butch. But she thought I was flirting with her.
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny.
I think it's because you have a natural, you're just naturally, I don't know, alluring. I
Joyful.
would say.
Joyful.
Yeah.
No,
Um,
at my age, I'm still excited about buying new eyeliner with glitter, a new color polish. I enjoy polishing my toes and my nails, and still putting on my lipstick every day, even during the pandemic. I put on my lipstick every day, 10 times a day.
Mm.
Always playing with my clothes, my bags, and my shoes. I don't know. I guess
yeah.
I don't know. Some people might think that I'm crazy, but I still have time for work. I still have time for serious stuff. But I'll always be a girl, no matter how old I am.
Speaking
And
of
that's what
serious
then
stuff,
you start
yeah.
liking yourself, and your partner is going to enjoy watching you enjoy yourself. Like Anli, I remember one time she saw my very, very red stilettos by the door, and my sister came, and I don't think she'll ever remember this incident, but she said, look at Eleanor's shoes. She made a comment like that, meaning to say she enjoys watching me wear my stilettos.
Hmm.
If you enjoy yourself, basically, they will enjoy looking at you. And in conclusion, you'll be a lot more
Yes, yes.
desirable.
She'll always say, "You're so malandi." Yeah, I am.
There's nothing wrong with being malinde. Just do it
You know,
intentionally.
you know what they say, talo lang malandi ang maganda. So malandi ay somehow is the key here. Learn how to be malandi.
Yeah,
So
because not every woman is born beautiful, but if you have that sex appeal, you know,
Mm.
and you know how to carry yourself in a sexy manner, you're done. You're made. You're a star.
yeah.
Okay, that we're gonna try to unpack that, Eleanor, because obviously you can't teach it. As you say, it comes out naturally. I'm gonna do the research. I need to understand.
How to
So,
unlock it.
so women who are like very anxious, they have the secret because everyone can learn it, I think. Question on sex life. What kills someone's sex life? When you talked about like couples that have a stale sex life, what contributes to that?
Arguments,
Mm.
resentment towards each other, selfishness, lack of communication, fighting, money.
True. Communication really is
Many.
key with everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
when you start, when you start disliking each other. But when you're friends, if you stay as friends, it's going to be all right. But if you're going to continue to fight and not like each other, everything's going to go downhill.
Mm.
Everything's going to shrivel and die.
So how do you think,
Doomsday.
how important do you think sex is to a good and healthy relationship? Is it a big, big part of it? Or is it more of reactive to how good your relationship is already or how bad it is?
I don't think, yeah, sex is important to any relationship, but it's not the most important. I think being friends and being supportive of each other is what is what will keep you together.
Yeah, so
It's not, there was this saying, it's not the lack of love for each other, but the lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages.
I love that.
I
I
like
really
that.
think friendship is such a good foundation for
It
any
is.
relationship.
It
And
is.
it's what will keep it going. Like some of the longest marriages I've seen, there is an innate friendship there that, just you can't beat.
Friendship
I have
will lead to longevity.
that goes the same for friendships outside your relationships. Kindergarten friends to college friends till you're 60 and 70. Like my mom, she had classmates since they were in kindergarten, and they would still play mahjong at 60 and 70. They had lasting friendships. I know they would fight. They would like fight in the mahjong table, and then one of them would bribe my mom with mushrooms from Hong Kong, and they're friends again.
Yeah.
I
It doesn't
love
matter.
that.
It doesn't matter where friendships are from. It could be
Yeah.
outside of the relationship and in the relationship, that would make every friendship, that would make every relationship work.
Yeah. I was reading before that a good loyalty test or like a litmus test for someone's loyalty is that if they have friends from all walks of life. And now that when I'm talking to you, I feel like having a lot of friends, like good friends, means that it could lead to a better sex life too. Because, like, they feel liked by other people, then you also feel liked in the bedroom. I don't know.
Confident.
What do you think about that?
Um, I'm not sure about that, but what I do know is that you friends are very, very important outside of your relationship, because once your relationship is gone, you've
Mm,
got your friends to lean on.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
And
think
it's very
sometimes
hard
people
for
go
me.
ahead.
It's very difficult to make friends or to have what you call a real friend, because to me friendship means investment, whether it's your emotion or time. A friend is when you're there when they're in need. You're there, you're stable.
Hmm.
And that's why I can count, how many friends I have, because to me, if I have a friend, I will be there for that person
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah. So Eleanor, you have a lot of friends, or you have friends. Was there ever a time that you've met somebody or encountered a good friend who's not sexually open, and then you kind of want to help them? Or how about you? Were you ever not sexually open?
Oh, I've always been sexually open, but I have a lot of cousins who are not sexually open, and I can't open those doors. So there are some cases where even I can't help,
Yeah.
Hmm.
because that's the way they were raised.
So it's a lot about upbringing. right?
Yeah, it's all in the upbringing because the parents were like that, and so they're like that. They can't talk about it. They have very very difficult time bringing out the sensuous their sexuality. It's very difficult for them.
Would you say that, having pleasure place, would you have seen a lot of people that walk in there very frazzled or like, kind of frustrated, I would say? Because I know some women that would have explored sex toys when something bad has happened to them, whether they've been cheated on or, I don't know, a breakup. Do you see this in pleasure place? Like, do you see people that need, I don't know, comfort in a way of sexual pleasure?
I have there are a lot of reasons why women come into the shop.
Mm.
Some would say, um, some would say that they're single again, and so they need a toy. Then there are others that would come. My husband and I, or my boyfriend and I, would like to explore. Then there are those women brought in by their men in wanting the girl to try it because they've never tried it. And so the girl is very frightened. But then when I'm at the shop, I'm always 100% able to rein them in and they will walk out happy. As long as I'm in the shop, it's usually a successful evening for that couple. But because of the pandemic, I can't go there as often as I'd like to. But I used to be in the shop almost every night for the past 17 years. I
Yeah.
You
go
should
around. I go around my branches
you
because I
should do
know my
Zoom
presence.
calls.
Yeah, I
You
know my
should,
presence will bring comfort to the customers. Yeah, my sales girls are good, but
yeah,
they don't talk as direct as I do or to help them choose a toy that will suit their needs.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care if you walk out without the toy. As long as I'm able to open up a little avenue for you, you will always come back, which they do. As long
Mm.
as I'm able to open a door, for you to make you think of what you're missing out, because um, sex, enjoying sex is our sexual birthright.
Mm.
True. It's a birthright. So, Eleanor, we have a quick true or false round. We have a few statements and tell us if it's true or false. Would you like to read this, Bea?
Yeah, sure. There's a few that you've already mentioned, so I'm going to scrap them out.
Yep.
Number one, sex toys make some men feel inadequate.
True.
Ah.
And my answer to that: sex toys don't say I love you and won't make you coffee or breakfast in the morning. And they don't get jealous with each other. You can have as many in different colors and shapes and forms. And what guys don't realize is that sex toys are also their toys, especially the vibrating ones. Put a
Mm.
tip of a vibrator, a small vibrator on your cheek, and give him
Yeah.
head so he could feel the vibration.
Ah, interesting.
Nice style.
Or get a
There's
small
so much we
vibrator
don't
and use
know.
a tip and put it on his P spot, which is his perineum, located between his testicles and his anal passage, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
masturbate him simultaneously. And he's going to experience his most powerful orgasm without penetration.
Take down notes, Bea. Joke.
I know everyone starting now, get a pen and a
Take
paper.
a notebook.
I read a book, where a woman was saying, "You don't know it. While we're not around, our boyfriends are probably using our toys."
Probably.
Please just clean them and put them back. That's
So,
all I ask.
find
Um,
it here.
it's so funny because there's all these like underground. It's such an underground world for some people. They don't talk about it in the dining table. You don't really talk about it with your friends. Maybe with your bestest friends, you will. And still, there's a little bit of shyness there.
Oh, when they
But
come into
meanings,
my shop, everything is like a river. It flows. And do you know that menage a trois or group sex in the country is very, very active? Just
Wow,
the
I did
other
not know
day,
that.
just the other day, I had this Filipino guy who bought like toys bondage. He wanted bondage and he needed two vibrators. I said, "Excuse me, why are you buying a couple of vibrators?" "Oh, my wife and I invited another person to join us."
Mm.
what's the allure with group sex? I'm curious. Is it because it's just
Oh,
an adventure or
adventure, but it's not for me. I've tried it
okay?
once and I didn't enjoy it. I
It
didn't
sounds
What
enjoy
were
like.
it.
you? Can you tell us
What
a
did
little
it
bit
feel like?
more?
Well, Anli wanted to see me with multiple men, and I
Mm.
indulged her. I had to
Okay.
teach these guys, 5 or 6 guys who knew nothing. It's just sex. It's just sex. It was like a couple of evenings, and that was it. I've experienced it, and it was really nothing,
Mm.
and nothing to really even think about it as being pleasurable. But some people enjoy it. You know, some people like to watch their wives or their girlfriends being fucked by somebody else.
Yeah.
I have a client in Forbes. He would hire 10 men. I would go, it was an empty room, and he would hide behind this curtain. So he was the peeping Tom. Well, just to show you, you know, that a lot of things happen in the country. Is he was a
Yeah.
peeping Tom behind velvet curtains, and he was wearing a robe. And so this was this one empty room where his wife was on this you know this tables that you go to when you visit your OBGYN.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, she would like spread her legs, and there were 10 men to fuck her, one after the other, while he
Oh,
watched. He
and you
enjoyed
would
it.
watch.
Yes, he enjoyed it.
Wow.
So that's
That
one
is
very, very
crazy.
one very extreme story. But there are
Yeah.
lots of things that are happening. You know, just your neighbor, you won't even know what's happening. They don't tell you. Like anal sex is practiced by straight men, not necessarily homosexuals, but
Yeah.
it's a heterosexual practice for both men and women. My
I
anal
really,
toys disappears like crazy,
Yeah.
yeah.
and it's bought by straight people.
I
Huh.
really wonder when it was invented and how we decided that these were the holes we need to insert things
From the
to. Like it's
beginning of time,
Yeah. Yeah,
like
Bea.
lesbianism and homosexuality was already there. Do you know
yeah,
that my grandmother was an opera actress? You know, the one where, you know, the stage actress where they wear, I don't know if you've seen the Chinese opera where they have
yeah.
like this white foreheads and they wear these costumes. She was always the actor, and so she would bring home a lot of actors and actresses from Taiwan, and I would hear them smooching, and I said, Mama Nai, you know, I would ask her, what are they doing? Ignore them. They're just kissing, two women kissing. I was exposed to lesbians when I was 5.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely widened your, I guess, your knowledge and openness to sexuality and sensuality. Other couple quick fire questions or statements. Sex on a first date is a no-no.
Oh, not for me.
Okay.
I like it.
Not for
how
me.
how about for heterosexual relationships? Isn't it because I feel like guys react so differently to sex versus women.
Of
Like,
course.
so
Hmm.
would you say sex on a first date is a no-no for a heterosexual relationship, or you don't?
It all depends on how you two hit it off. If you
Yeah.
two feel like you want to get it on, why not? You could not, you don't, who knows, you're not going to meet again and you just had a great evening.
Mm. So it depends on if you're gonna meet again or not.
You could have sex and not meet again. It's fine.
Okay. Sex is a power play. True or false?
Definitely.
Mm.
Ah, explain a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know, it's like, I don't have to go far. Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle.
Uh,
It's
okay.
her sexual prowess, you know, that's moving Harry around the world. Or
Yes.
how about the who's this? What is this thing in India that he built for his wife that everybody goes
Taj
and visit?
Mahal.
Taj
Yeah,
Mahal.
Taj Mahal. Yeah.
Isn't that sexual prowess? He built her a castle.
Yeah.
See,
Men
a
go to
woman
war
can.
because of sex, you know, because of one woman. It's
Mm.
powerful.
I love that. Men go to war. It's true. And what is it that saying where the face that launched 1,000 ships? So, it is possible. So, sex is
Yeah.
a power play.
And
Sexual.
every man's
Yeah.
downfall, you know, he could be, you know, the most successful and all that, and then, you know, when you watch movies and there's this vamp, you know, that made him fall, it's true.
Yeah.
He could fall for one woman, one mistake, and it could destroy him. You could use that to destroy anyone if you like,
This
if
is
you're
exactly what
capable
the
of
Me
it.
Too movement is. It it can happen to the most powerful men, but sometimes it takes time. This one is an interesting one. We got this from a guest who saved herself for marriage. Sexual compatibility can be learned and taught. Like the best sex life is actually you learn it.
True.
True. Okay.
You teach
Um,
each other.
I like that. Teach each other, not just one after one teaching someone. It's both, right?
Yeah.
Right.
This is from Shari. Virtual cleavage is your brain.
The virtual world's cleavage is your brain.
Explain.
Well,
Shari, go.
basically, it was all about, we were talking about virtual dating. So basically, you can't physically touch, so you have to be smart to actually seduce somebody. Or no.
No, I don't get your question.
The statement, like, do you have to be smart to seduce somebody?
Mm.
Or can you just
Oh,
be
of
attractive?
course. You have to be smart to seduce somebody. Of course, you have to use your brain, put it to work.
Yeah.
Okay. When married for a few years, sex once a week is okay.
That's also another thing that's very difficult. It depends on both your sexual needs and the time available to you both. And I hear a lot. I hear a lot of husbands who would come into the shop who wants to buy a hard-on pill. It's because he'll say, "Oh, because my wife stays home, and I'm tired from working, so I need a pill to help me get through the evening." We have problems like that.
Hmm.
So they're hiding their tiredness from the wife because the wife is so demanding. I mean, and this is why I don't like women to stay home and do nothing. Because she could probably think of is to have sex with her husband when he comes home and he's so tired.
I think you have to be sensitive to people's exhaustion. If you're both tired, if one person, take it easy, maybe give a massage or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex between two people should come naturally. It shouldn't be
Mhm.
forced on each other, really. It should be a very it should come. The flow should be natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course,
Okay.
realistically, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, because there is a lot of ego involved, a lot of miscommunication. I think that's kind of one of the things that really kill
And the saddest
people's
part
sex
is
life.
hearing women tell me that they have to fake their orgasms.
Can we talk about this? Because I
Yeah.
really want to know what your thoughts are of people that fake orgasms.
Um, this book, she just passed away actually, and her name is like skipping my mind now. Doctor, I missed her name, but she is the mother of masturbation, and it was her book that has taught me how to lecture.
Hmm.
Dr. Betty Dodson. She just passed away
Yes.
last
Yeah.
year, and
Okay.
she's in New
Yeah.
York. She
Hmm.
used to hold masturbation classes, and she sells the magic wand. $1,000 for single and $2,000 for couples. Couples would go in to tell her. Women would go in to tell her to say that they've never experienced an orgasm throughout their married life. And
Wow.
Betty Dodson would be the one to say that 9 out of 10 women would fake their orgasm. And she would go on to explain that a vagina is nothing but a birth canal. Unless you're able to hit the G spot or the clit that has legs that attaches to the G spot, you're never going to be able to reach orgasm. And so most missionary positions is never able going to be hitting those spots. So a lot of women are taught that they should mount their partners because then you're in control. When you
Hmm.
mount your partners, you're able to control to hit the desired spots. But she said that if you can't come while being penetrated, it doesn't matter. And men should lose their egos and not let them bother them because an orgasm is an orgasm is an orgasm. It doesn't matter how you come, whether it's through clitoral, through anal. It doesn't necessarily have to be through your vagina.
Hmm.
Is orgasm
And
a birthright?
yes, it is.
Okay. Just
And
checking.
so when you ask men how you know if the woman has actually reached an orgasm,
Hmm.
they'll never know. And not a single man has been able to answer me the reason. And because we have men in the broadcast, I'm not going to give the secret away. But everyone can fake an
You
orgasm.
have to
You
say
can
the
ooh and
secret.
ah and moan your heart out. You know, you can
Yeah.
squeeze your kegels and they'll think that you're shivering and you're fine. No one can
Yeah.
tell, but I'll tell you after the show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
okay, okay.
I'm so excited.
Okay, last two true or false statements. To keep it spicy, there should be a little mystery between two people.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
And okay, the last one, love. We always hear this. Love is unconditional.
You know, that's so hard to believe.
Do you think it's
That
hypocritical?
unconditional love only applies to your pet.
Yeah. I
That
remember your
that
mom.
you know for sure. If you own a dog or a cat, you will know what unconditional love is.
Mm.
But I've never been able to experience that with every human, I'm sad to say.
Okay,
So
can we go to my
before we end, oh yeah, Bea has a favorite question that we ask almost all of our guests. So before we go to our takeaways, Eleanor, what is love?
Mm.
You know, for me, when you say you love or you're in love, that means you're surrendering yourself. And in the end, I feel like a loser. When you surrender, you lose. It's very
Mm.
difficult, you know, and I'd like to learn even as far as into this age of mine at 67 or about to be 67, and I'm proud to say that I'm aging. Um, I want to be able to learn how to love myself first. It's
Hmm.
still very tough. I'm still learning that.
Huh, what are the
Because
struggles?
when
I'm
I
just
love
curious.
someone, I give it my all, and you shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we heard that
Yeah.
also.
You have to reserve most of it for yourself. I mean,
Hmm.
that's my advice. You know, at this late age of mine, you really have to. Yes, you can love another person, but you really, really must love yourself first and take
Yeah,
care of yourself because no one can love you except yourself.
that is true. And
Very
you're the only
Apply
person
that
that
love that you have for people who you think you love to yourself. Then I think you'll be okay.
hmm.
that is very powerful, by the way. It's like you're the only one that can really love yourself that way and also to explore yourself. And I think part of understanding pleasure is really, I guess,
And
knowing
besides,
yourself.
even that person who claims that they really love you, like our parents or your partner, right? But they're not with you 24 hours a day. But you are with yourself 24
Mm.
hours a day. So you're the only one who can really take care of yourself because you're with yourself all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we shouldn't hear anymore the whole like I can't live without him or I can't live
Yeah,
without
I can't
these
stand that.
people.
I used to say that. And I hate
Okay.
myself for thinking that way. I don't think that anymore, by the way. I've gotten over that stage.
Wow, I can't even imagine you like that. You're
Yeah.
such a strong-willed woman.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like.
No, when I was younger, yeah, that's what you'd feel,
Mm,
but not
Ah,
anymore.
yeah.
Because even though you love that person and you found the love of your life, one of you are going to leave each other sooner or later. One has to go sooner or later. So what are you going to do? Life goes on.
True.
buy a
Yeah.
sex toy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So since we are towards the end, before Ben and I give our takeaways, one question. You feel like you've lived a fun life. How did you get over your heartbreaks if you've ever had any?
You get over your heartbreaks. Time heals everything. I've never been heartbroken over anybody. Actually, I was always the one
Oh,
that left. Um,
Oh, strong
but
woman.
heartbreaks for me is like losing my pets. To me,
Mm.
that's total heartbreak. Till today, I mourn over Georgia. I had to put her down about 2 years ago, and I still shed tears for her, and I'm not ashamed that I do. Um, and I will mourn for her till the day that I'm gone. To me, that's heartbreak. For my parents, my mom was ill, so realistically, we had to learn how to let her go. My father died, and we watched him take his last breath, and he won't let us mourn for him. He lived a happy and fulfilling life. And even at his when I buried him, I didn't even have a wake for him. I couldn't stand that. I invited 50 to 60 close friends and relative, held a mass, and then put him in his crypt. That's it. I didn't want people to spend their time 4 or 5 nights to travel in traffic, to come and visit. You know what you call that, the wake, where you have food and
Yep.
everything.
Yeah.
Even when I die, I don't like that. Just bury, just cremate me and put me in there. Don't bother anybody. You want to see each other,
Mm.
you see each other when you're around, when you're alive, when you can talk to each other.
Mm.
Wow. I that kind of leads to our takeaways, right, Sherry? Like maybe you want to start? What's your takeaway?
You go for it, Bea. You start.
Okay, I mean, just listening to you, Eleanor, like you just shared with us all these vulnerabilities and all the things that you've been through. You've never really gone through a typical, like a heartbreak relationship, but you have been heartbroken in different forms. I would say my biggest takeaway is that the world is your oyster, and it's just about how you crack it open. And, pleasure plays or, your sensuality and sexuality are things that you have to open up. And it's going to take time. It's a little shoving there and trying to understand yourself. And it's going to take time. But when you open the oyster, it's delicious.
Yep.
So enjoy it. I think that's the best thing about being sensual and sexual or malende or flirtatious is you're just life is too important to take it too seriously, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you
Um,
so much for the wisdom, I would have
yeah,
to
I
say.
think my takeaway would be I'm just inspired by, again, Eleanor, you look way, way young. And you look so good for your
Thank
age. And
you.
I feel like it's due to the fact that you live a life with such what do you call it? Like excitement.
Yeah.
You lived it to the fullest. You always that's how I feel. Yeah, you're so full of like energy that I don't know. I feel like that's what I want to emulate. I want to be confident. I want
Thank
to do
you.
what I want to do
You got the
early on.
lipstick down.
What right? The red. I want to be confident. I want to be flirty. I want to be fun. That's my main takeaway. And if I do get to do that, I'll look as young as Eleanor. And we're the same age.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
And do you have any last tips for women out there who are in a bad place right now, by the way?
The sun will shine tomorrow. Don't worry. I have a lot of bad days, and I thought that, how could I go through another bad day? But then you're just going to have to think positive, stay positive, because, tomorrow it's going the sun is going to shine again.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's just as simple as that is. It's not going to be a permanent, you're not going to have permanently bad days, and you're going to have to lift yourself up. Whenever I would have a bad day, I would tell myself it's enough. This self-pity and this feeling bad about yourself, get up, and do something, and it's going to be better in minutes. You could actually make yourself feel good in minutes. That's
Mm.
actually happened to me.
I
I
know
won't
how.
allow myself to fall or to break,
Yes.
because when you get to that breaking point, it's very tough to come back. Don't
Yeah.
allow it for more than a minute or two. Get up and don't feel bad. Just get up, do something.
Or lie down and go to pleasure place and feel feel good in minutes. How do they reach you, by the way, Eleanor? Like, how did if people just wanna
Oh,
get in
you
touch
can
with pleasure
Google the
place?
pleasure place, and my number is published. Everybody
Okay.
reaches me through my number. I'm very active in Facebook, the Pleasure Place Facebook, and my number. I'm active in WhatsApp, in Viber, and my SMS. I could be easily reached.
Okay. So again, thank you so much, Eleanor, for joining us and sharing
Oh,
your insights, drinking from
thank
the
you for
fountain of
thinking of
youth.
me.
I'm inspired to be eternally youthful. And again, my other takeaway is never let yourself go. Hold on for as
Oh
long as you
yeah,
can. Hold
yeah.
on. So next week, guys, our episode includes three sisters who are happy in different stages of their lives: single, taken, and married. We chat with them on advice on love and how to handle dating or introducing a new partner to the family.
Yeah, so I'm very excited because there's always this pressure with siblings, right? Of
Right.
who is taken, who's going to get married, who's pregnant. So we'll figure it out and we will try to get their advice from three sisters. Stay tuned and, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Instagram and Twitter and send us your love, successes, and failures on our website, thirstyand30.club. We really do promise to keep you anonymous if you want. And if you don't want, then come on stage. We will do some research and give you some sound advice. And also, every Sunday, we send out a weekly newsletter called The Thirst Trap. We send you hope and happiness and humor all in your inbox. And one of my favorite this week is all about getting out of the toxic relationship that you've been in for years. So I have a few tricks of the trade and how to get out of it. And it's really a guide for the modern day woman who wants to be smarter and saner. So yeah, always stay thirsty.
Stay
Thanks.
thirsty, everybody. Night. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you
Bye.
so much,
Bye.
Eleanor. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Thirsty and 30.